How do you launch a new product in the market? All right, if you've been in this game at all, you've probably heard someone say to you, if you build it, they will come, which is total garbage, all right? That is some of the most broke crap ever. If someone has ever said that to you, they never ran a business, they probably got straight A's in school. I'm gonna teach you exactly how I launch a product online. Let's dive in. When I was in college, I had this teacher who was the CMO of Denny's and Pizza Hut. The guy was awesome. He was a total rock star. He's the guy who invented stuffed crust pizza. Super cool dude. And there was a semester in college where all we had to do was build a business, meaning there's no other classes. Literally, if we did not build a business that made actual real money, we failed. Probably the most valuable thing that I did in all of college. And the professors were not allowed to interact with us very much. We had to go to them with our questions. Well, there's a few things they did teach us though. One day we walked into class, the professor was like, I'm gonna teach you guys how to think, which seemed a little offensive to me. I thought I knew how to think. And basically what happened was we sat down and he's like, all right, now to start this off, I'm not gonna tell it to you. I just want you to start experiencing a few of these principles on how to think. Start brainstorming the name of your company. And so we got this kid up and he was the scribe and he was just, someone would shout out an idea and be like, this is the name of the company. And we'd write down, this is the name of the company. Finally, we got to a spot where I think the teacher was looking for this. The first kid made a kind of like face at one of this other kid's ideas. So I think he's like, what about this idea? And another kid was like, like a dumb idea, Teacher stood up with a squirt bottle and goes, bad kitty! And he sprayed the guy in the face with water. And we were like, what is going on? Oh my gosh. And he basically yelled like, there's no such thing as a bad idea. He's like, you guys gotta stop judging your ideas. Okay, super psycho, but like the guy changed my life. He's amazing. Learned a lot of great lessons from him. And what he taught us there, and this is very much incorporated on how we actually launch a product on the internet. How do you launch a brand new product? Okay, the first thing you gotta realize is that, and this is what he taught us, okay? He taught, ideas are crap. Ideas are garbage. And I don't know if you're in the phase of entrepreneurship where you think that your idea is close to the vest. Don't tell anyone my idea because someone's gonna take it. They're gonna run with it. And oh my gosh, if someone hears my idea, they're gonna run. My idea is gonna be worthless now. Ideas are garbage. Ideas are garbage. They're worth literally nothing. No one will pay you for your idea. What he taught us to go do was to take our ideas and share them with the world and start saying, what do you think about that? What do you think about that? What do you think about that? And give our idea to the world so that they could give us feedback. Guys, how do you launch a product on the internet? I'm telling you the first piece right here. You have to collect feedback on the thing that you're gonna go and put out in there. If you don't, you're creating a product that solves your problem. That's risky. And I know that there are companies out there that are like, we just solved our own problem, but that is totally the exception and not the rule. That doesn't happen normally. Okay, what you have to get good at is understanding that your ideas are not actually worth much. You gotta go hand your idea off to the market and they're gonna say yes or no, and you're like, please tell me why you're saying that. So number one, you have to collect feedback. You have to collect data. Scariest launches I've ever done in my entire life. The total reason why I failed for 5 years, okay? 34 tries over 5 years. One of the biggest reasons was because I never asked anybody to vet my idea. I'd go into my bat cave, right? I'd go into creation mode in my mad lab, right? The scientist lab with my code. I was creating this product will change the world. And they were really good products. But the problem was I never got feedback. So they never got to evolve from just my own idea to an idea and a product worthy of all these people paying for it. That's a key piece right there, my friends. Number one, collect feedback. One of the most key pieces in how you actually launch a new product on the internet is this next piece right here. All right, now, actually, tell me in the comments, how many of you guys like Black Friday? Right? How many of you guys like the day after Thanksgiving, Black Friday, you get up at the absolute butt crack of dawn, right? Super early, and you basically go camp in front of a store so you can get a good deal. I gotta be honest, I hate that, man. I will never do that. I can't stand doing that because I could just buy the same product the next day, right? I don't know, I'm not a fan. But some people love that. Does that make it wrong? No. All right, now think about this for a second. You're gonna go launch a product, right? And basically you're collecting feedback. You've collected feedback about the product. You need to collect feedback on how people like to buy. Do you like to buy through, say, a webinar? Do you like to buy through a podcast? Maybe some of your followers like to buy through a sales letter. Maybe people in your space like to buy through Facebook ads. Okay, I don't like buying through the newspaper, but there's a group of people that does, which is why people keep advertising there. Does that make sense? One of the key things to ask here, and one of the biggest hacks, is to ask, how do people in my market like to be sold to, so that you can model the same? Oh baby, sweet cherry pie. That's some good stuff. Because what you're basically figuring out is, how do the people in your market like to give their attention to you? How do they like to give their attention to the other people that they buy from? So you're basically modeling. If you really think about what I'm doing here with you, step number one on how to launch a product, ask the dream customer to give you feedback on the product. They will guide you through the final steps of your product creation and your launch. And then we're like, okay, now how do we get the attention from them? We just model after the exact same ways they like to give their attention altogether. Does that make sense? And we do it by asking the market, how do you guys already like to purchase? Oh, we love buying through, I don't know, magazine ads. Oh, we love buying through, and whatever we figure out those modalities are, that's how we launch. We launch on this very same distribution channels. We launch on the very same mediums as they're already used to buying through. Hey, before I teach you this final little piece on how we actually make a launch big. Now you have some of the ingredients. How do we make it big? Go ahead and hit the like and the subscribe button. I would love to make more of these videos for you. And I would actually love to hear down in the comments how you actually do like to go buy things. I like to buy things personally through podcasts. I'll buy them when influencers talk about it. I'll buy them a lot of times through, well, actually, those are the two ways. Just send me I'm a really easy sell. That's probably why I know how to sell things as well. I'm an easy buy. That's why I know how to sell things. Put in the comments below, how do you actually like to purchase stuff? All right, now it's time to talk about the actual launch itself. You guys have got the ingredients for it. What do we do now? Think about Elon Musk. Remember that Cybertruck he went and he launched? What did he do? Let's break that down just a little bit. I think that is the most disgusting looking truck in my entire life. I hate that. It looks so terrible to me. I like a truck. I have a truck. I have a Tundra. I love that thing. That's not a truck. It's cool, but don't call it a truck, right? Anyway, remember he stands up. He makes this big fuss about it. You actually had to register to get on to see the fact that you're going to go and watch the release. He created an event around it. He went and caused buzz around it. And then, tell me he didn't plan for that window to shatter, right? He stood up and he grabbed that hammer and bam, he smashed on the window and it actually exploded. Yet everyone funded him. Does that make sense? What we want to do is we want to create something similar. I'm not saying you have to go invent a truck and smash a window, okay? But what we want to do is we want to create a similar effect. And one of the easiest ways to launch your product on the internet is to create a launch that resembles how you feel about a holiday. Holidays have a specific date. Remember, it's not like Elon Musk's thing was more than one day. It was on a specific date, a time, a location, and an availability. And those are the four magic ingredients to create a launch, a release. Those are the four things you need to create a big release into the marketplace, okay? Date, time, location, and availability. Availability is really key, and it's one of the most skipped ones. Availability means, when are you going to take the product off the market? Okay, most people don't move without a little bit of urgency and scarcity in their life. They just don't. And so what we do is we do things like take the product off the market once it was released. Maybe we'll take it off a week after it's been released. Maybe we'll go, right, it's not like, for example, it's not like Hollywood releases the DVDs for a movie at the same weekend that that movie was released in theaters, right? They take it off the market. There's a little bit of a wait time, and then they let the pressure kind of build up, and there's a little bit of an echo launch that happens when they release that DVD out into the marketplace. Does that make sense? We want to create the same kind of effect. We create, basically, again, back to the Hollywood example, kind of that red carpet experience. Hey, something's coming, and it might be months in advance. And hopefully it is. They usually do better when you do that. I'm going to release my thing on the internet months in advance. Here it comes, here it comes. Date, time, location. Here's the URL. Here's the time it's being released, right? I'm going to go and it's going to get taken off the marketplace at these times. Oh my gosh, here it comes. Boom! And we explode the energy into our launch. And then we also take off that product from the marketplace. And that will usually, what have we found? Double sales because of that. So there it is. Get some feedback from the market about what your launch is, figure out how they like to buy it, and then you just mimic the same launch patterns that that marketplace likes to buy from by creating a date, time, location, availability, big, massive buildup, boom. One of the biggest things that I can teach you in this entire video is that the difference between a 5-figure, 6-figure, and 7-figure launch is time. That's really it. If you want to fail on your next product launch, finish your product today and try to launch it tomorrow. Doesn't work like that. The best launches are at least 2 to 3 months pushed out because you're starting to talk about it here. It might even be done. A lot of my products are done and I haven't released it because I'm building pressure for 2 to 3 months towards that launch. Got a free gift here for you. If you're liking this kind of stuff and you're like, man, I need more of these strategies, go to internetlaunchsecrets.com. Internetlaunchsecrets.com. The description has the URL there. And there's a free presentation that will teach you more about how we actually do this, the formula that launches things powerfully on the internet.